Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye. Before reciting Srimad Bhagvatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narnarayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author of Srimad Bhagvatam. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. By regular attendance in the classes on Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Namo Pankajanaಭಾಯ Nama Pankajamaline Namaha Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangriye Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Paramananda Pathaya Premavarshi Aksharayate Sarvada Sarva Sevyaya Shri Krishnaya Namostate. Hare Krishna, dear Vaishnavas, thank you so much for joining. We are reading Granth-raj Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 7. Lord Shiva saves the universe by drinking poison. So we read till text number 26 the prior day, that is on Friday. And I was hearing some lectures from His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj about the Samudra Manthan Leela. So I thought to share some points which we have already covered. So one question came that Lord gave the quality of ignorance to Vasuki. So this question came up. So it's only Radha Govind Maharaj was explaining that what that means is basically, Vipul Prabhu is present and some doctors are present, Prabir Prabhu is present. So when a person is, operation is done, what do you give? Anesthesia, right? So it's an ignorance. Giving anesthesia is like making them abodha. The word used in the verse is abodha. Bodhayanti is bodh means to be aware. Abodha means to become unconscious. So when the whole churning was going on, Vasuki was abodha. That means he was put into a sleep state. Otherwise, it's very difficult. Imagine the rope. If you are the rope and that is being churned and ripped and cuts and bruises, like a surgery going on. So in that state, which is very, very difficult, so Lord kind of put him into sleep so that he does not feel that pain. So that the person whom the doctor is performing the surgery does not feel the pain. The doctor gives him the quality of ignorance. So very nice explanation. I hope that makes clear. And then also one important point that when the fumes came out from the head where the demons were present and the demigods were present, so it's mentioned that when the fumes came out, the bodies of the demons turned black because of the excessive fumes, because of that heat and thousands of mouth and thousands and ears and nose, everything just fuming. But just look at the extent of this fumes, that even the demigods got some glimpse of that. So what that means, and the demigods were, how far they were? Who can answer that? How far demigods were from demons approximately? Anyone can tell that?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I guess the turtle was 8 lakh miles. So the mountain was on Lord, the turtle. So it would be approximately more than 8 lakh miles, I guess.
Yes, that's very good. That's how I was also thinking. That yes, because the turtle was in the center, and the transcendental, the big tortoise, Kṛṣṇa avatar. So they must be at least 800,000 miles away. But still, the fumes are coming out. And even the demigods could experience that. So, just these 2 points I wanted to share before we start reading ahead from His Holiness Radha Govind Swami Maharaj. So let's now continue with the verse where we stopped yesterday or on Friday. Text number 27. Nabhirnabhaste swasanam nabhaswan suryascha chakshushmi jalam smareta paravaratma shrayanvam tavatma somo manodyur bhagavan shiraste. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O Lord, the sky is your navel, the air is your breathing, the sun is your eyes, and the water is your semen. You are the shelter of all kinds of living entities, high and low. The god of the moon is your mind, and the upper planetary system is your head. So, if you remember, exactly the same analogies were used when the when Lord Ajita appeared before that. When the demigods headed by Brahma, they went to Shweta Dvipa, the ocean of milk. Quite similar words were used to express or to glorify the Supreme Lord. So here, basically, the glorification is of the Supreme Lord in touch with the material world, Sadashiva or Shiva. So, so quite therefore, the quite same adjectives are used, quite same analogies are used, basically glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the context is that the halahal poison has appeared, and the Lord wants to glorify his devotee more than his own self. He could have certainly helped, but he wants his devotee to take credit. And His Grace Gauranga Prabhu explained it so nicely that even before coming to ISKCON, we may have heard this pastime, but we may not know all the details, Ajita or turtle and this and that. But we know, oh, Shivji drank poison, right? We all had heard that Shivji drank poison and therefore his neck is blue. So that's the beauty of Lord, that he wants to glorify his devotee. Any comments or questions before we move on? These verses don't have a purport, so I guess we will move on. Raise your hand if you would like to read text 28. Vipul Prabhu, you want to start? Yeah, please. Please raise your hand, others, so we can flow smoothly.
Hare Krishna devotees, Dandavat Pranam, all goes to Srila Prabhupada. Text 28. Kukshi Samudra Girayo Asthiti Sangha Romani Sarva Sudha Sarva Ushadi Virudashti Chandam Shri Sakshat Tata Sapto Dhatavas Trayi Mayatman Hridayam Sarva Dharma. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O Lord, you are the three Vedas personified. The seven seas are your abdomen. The mountains are your bones. All drugs, creepers, vegetables are the hairs on your body. The Vedic mantras like Gayatri are the seven layers of your body. And the Vedic religious system is the core of your heart. So this is again the universal feature of the Lord that is described here to glorify the Lord. Back to Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. So ultimately, the Lord is the cause of all causes, and there are a lot of verses glorifying the Supreme Lord. But we will keep moving to the next one. Text 29. Yes, Moksha Mataji, please. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Mataji. Mukhani pancho Panishadastevesh Yestrin Shad Shato Tam Taramantra Varga Yat Tacheva Vakyam Paramatma Tattvam Dev Swayam Jyoti Ravasthiti State. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. O Lord, the five important Vedic mantras are represented by our five faces, from which the 38 most celebrated Vedic mantras which have been generated. Your Lordship, being celebrated as Lord Shiva, is self-illuminated. You are directly situated as a supreme truth known as Paramatma. Purport. The five mantras mentioned in this connection are as follows: Purusha, Aghor, Sadhyojata, Vamadeva, and Ishana. These five mantras are within the category of 38 special Vedic mantras chanted by Lord Shiva, who is therefore celebrated as Shiva or Mahadev. Another reason why Lord Shiva is called Shiva, which means all auspicious, is that he is self-illuminated, exactly like Lord Vishnu, who is the Paramatma. Because Lord Shiva is directly an incarnation of Lord Vishnu, he is situated as Lord Vishnu's direct representative. This fact is corroborated by the Vedic mantra Praptim Vishwasyatmane Sarvam Saswatam Shivam Achyutam. The Supersoul is called by many names, of which Maheshwara, Shiva, and Achyuta are especially mentioned. So, in this verse, Srila Prabhupada is saying that as Lord Shiva is the incarnation of Lord Vishnu, so he is like self-illuminatory, just like Lord Vishnu, and he is mentioning three of the special names which by which we can call Lord Shiva are Maheshwara, Shiva, and Achyuta. So this is all I can understand. So back to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So the word Achyuta is used in many places for Lord Kṛṣṇa or Lord Vishnu as well. So as I mentioned before, these are ultimately the glorification of the Supreme Lord in his form in contact with material world. So referring to Sadashiva or Shiva, non-different from the Supreme Lord in one way. And Shiva also means auspicious, all auspicious. Very important point. So the Lord likes to see his devotees being glorified more than his own self. Again and again, that point is coming. So the Lord is also present here. One interesting point which I remember from his Radha Govind Maharaj's lecture, that when Lord Ajita was churning, when he took the form of Lord Ajita and started to churn, then all the demigods were showering flowers from the upper planetary systems. But the question may come, hey, the demigods were very next to them. They were also churning, correct? So how come they're offering flowers from the upper planetary system when they're present next to churning, Brahma and Shindra, etc.? So the answer Maharaj explained that is that these special people, and we have discussed this multiple times, that they can be present at multiple places simultaneously. This has come, this theme has come time and again in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Okay, let's keep moving. Text number 30. Yes, Nandini Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, Dandat Pranam. All praise to Srila Prabhupada. Chaya twadharmo mirshu Yaivir sargo netra trayam satvarajasta mansi sankhyaatmanaha shastra krutastva besha chando mayo devarushi purana. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. O Lord, your shadow is seen in irreligion, which brings about varieties of irreligious creations. The three modes of nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance, are your three eyes. All the Vedic literatures, which are full of verses, are emanations from you, because their compilers wrote the various scriptures after receiving your glance. So we know that the irreligion is on the back of the Lord, and here it is describing how his Lord Vishnu's or Krishna's shadow is seen as irreligion, and this we know Rajas, Tamas, and Sattva Guna. Are your three eyes. I'm not sure why it would say they are three eyes, but that's an analogy, I believe. And then after that, it just speaks about Lord Vishnu's glance. And again, Vedic literature speaks about full verses and praises of Krishna, I guess. Please add or correct, Prabhu. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So Lord Shiva has 5 faces, which we discussed in the last verse, and 3 eyes in the middle. Middle eye. During the time of pralay, that opens up danger time. So the 3 eyes are mentioned here, and the 5 faces were mentioned in the previous verses. So that's the context. And often people ask, is bad also created by God? Is Krishna or is Lord Vishnu the source of all bad also? The answer is given here. Krishna Surya Sama, Maya hai andhakar. Yaha Krishna taha nahi Maya adhikar. So when we are facing the sun, then the shadow is behind. But when we turn our face away from the sun, then we see the shadow down. If we are facing the sun, there will be no shadow. We won't see shadow. But when we turn our face away from the sun or the light, then there will be shadow. Similarly, in life, if we turn ourselves away from goodness, absence of goodness is irreligion, or absence of religion is irreligion. So absence of light is darkness. So, but when we keep our focus, our face towards Krishna, then there is no darkness in one's life. That means all the inauspicious will turn auspicious. And we read that even for demons, they work very, very hard, but the effort is very little. Sorry, the result is very little. Lot of hard effort, very little result. But for the demigods, little effort, unlimited result. In the path of bhakti, very little effort, unlimited result. So those who are turned towards Krishna, then there is no darkness. Okay, any other comments anyone has? Okay, let's move on.
Actually, Prabhu, what does the word emanation mean?
Emanation is expansion or coming out. Is that?
Hare Krishna, is it the source of origin? Emanations, emanated?
Yes, source, origin, coming out from him.
And is this still glorifying Lord Shiva? And then first couple of verses back, it says Lord Vishnu is glorified because from Vishnu comes Shiva. I'm sorry,
Yes.
I lost the track a little bit.
So it's the same. It's like, as we say that Krishna goes to office is Vishnu. So similarly, that Vishnu touching the material world is Shiva. So in one way, they are same but different. Like
Okay.
how Krishna and Vishnu are same but different. Similarly, Vishnu and Shiva are same but different.
Okay. So is when it is calling, "Oh Lord," who is he referring to?
That's what I said, Mataji. Same
Or-
but different. Lord Vishnu, and in his form, in touch with the material world, that is Sadashiva or Shiva.
Okay, bro.
It's very complex.
Thank you very much. No, it's okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay. Yes, Umesh Prabhu, you want to read next verse?
Yes, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam to everyone. Text number 31. Nate Giritra Khila Lokapala Viricha Vaikunta Surendra Gamyam Jyoti Param Yatra Rajas Tamascha Sattvam Yada Brahma Nirasta Bhedam. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Lord Girisha, since the personal Brahman effulgence is transcendental to the material modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance, the various directors of the material world certainly cannot appreciate it or even know where it is. It is not understandable even to Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, or the King of Heaven, Mahendra. Purport. The Brahma Jyoti is actually the effulgence of the Supreme Personality of a Godhead as stated in Brahma Samhita 540. Yasya prabhavato jagadanda kotishna shesha vasudhati vibhuti bhinnam tad brahma nishkala marananta shesha bhuta Govindam Adim Purusham Tamam Bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord who is endowed with great power. The glowing effulgence of his transcendental form is the impersonal Brahman, which is absolute, complete, and unlimited, and which displays the varieties of countless planets with their different opulences in millions and millions of universes. Although the impersonal feature of the Absolute is an expansion of the rays of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, he does not need to take care of the impersonalist who enters the Brahma Jyoti. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 9.4, Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtinam. In my impersonal feature, I pervade this entire universe. Thus, the Avyaktamurti, the impersonal future, is certainly an expansion of Krishna's energy. Mayavadis who prefer to merge into this Brahman effulgence worship Lord Shiva. The mantras referred to in text 29 are called Mukhani Panchopanishadas Tvesha. Mayavadis take all these mantras seriously in worshipping Lord Shiva. These mantras as follows. Tatapurushaya Vignahe Shante Mahadevaya Vignahe Dhimayi Vidyaya Tanno Rudra Pratishtaya Prachodayat Drutya Aghorebhasya Tama Atha Ghorebhya Moha Adhorebhyo Raksha Agho Pratarebhyo Nidra Sarvebhya Sarvavyadhyo Sarva Sarvebhyo Ruttave Namaste tu Kṣudha. रुद्ररूपेभ्यः तृण वामदेवाय रजा ज्येष्ठा है स्वाहा श्रेष्ठा है रत्ये रुद्राय कल्याणे कालाय कामा कलविकरणाय सिद्धने बलच्छाया प्रमोदनाय ध्यात्रे सर्वभूत दमनाय ब्राह्मणे मन शोषिष्णे उन्मनाय ज्वरा सज्ञो जातं प्रपद्यामि सिद्धे सज्ञो जाताय वै नमो रुद्धे भवे दित्ये अभवे लक्ष्मी नाति भवे मेधा भजस्व मां कौन्ते भव स्वधा उद्भवाय प्रभा ईशान सर्वविज्ञानां शाशिन्य ईश्वर सर्वभूतानां अभयदा ब्रह्माधिपति ब्रह्मणोऽधिपति ब्रह्मण ब्रह्मेष्टदा शिवो में अस्तु मरीचे सदाशिव ज्वालिने. So the impersonal Brahman is unknown even to the other directors of the material creation, including Lord Brahma, Lord Indra, and even Lord Vishnu. This does not mean, however, that Lord Vishnu is not omniscient. Lord Vishnu is omniscient, but he does not need to understand what is going on in his all-pervading expansion. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that although everything is an expansion of him, Maya tatam idam sarva, he does not need to take care of everything. Nachaha teshva avistita. Since there are various directors like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Indra. So here, so Prabhupada ji explaining the Lord Girisha is basically it's basically the king of mountain, and Prabhupada ji explaining here the impersonal Brahman feature, okay, which is a Brahma Jyoti, is a transcendental and beyond the modes of material nature. And even the Lord Brahma, Vishnu, or the king of heaven cannot understand how it is and where it is. It's also mentioned here that the impersonal feature is expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's race, and he does not need to take care of those impersonates who enter into the Brahma Jyoti. So this subject is very quite complex, Prabhuji, to understand. But I'm just explaining whatever the Prabhupada ji is mentioning here. And again, the reason he does not need to understand everything because the various Prabhupada ji saying his authoritative directors like Lord Brahma, Shiva, and Indra, they can take care of that, and that's what I believe. And also Prabhupada ji is taking here the Mayavadis, who always prefers to march into that Brahman effulgence, and they go through all that mantras to eventually fulfill their desire. Hare Krishna, back to you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, this is about the impersonal Brahman effulgence is discussed here. So, a lot of complex philosophy is there. So maybe we can lighten it up by reading some Leela. So I'm going to share about the 5 faces of Lord Shiva. The 5 faces are the 5 Dwarpals in Vrindavan Dham. Lord Shiva's service in Rajadham. So this is Gopishwar Mahadev, dressed in a beautiful gopi's attire. Then Bhuteshwar Mahadev at Mathura. So I'll read a little bit. Maybe you can read Manjula. This one.
4 ancient deities of Lord Shiva residing at Mathura are known as Dikpals, protectors of the directions. They stay in Mathura to protect the Dham. Bhuteshwar Mahadev protects from the western side. The tradition amongst the Vaishnavas is that when coming to Braja, one must first go to Mathura to take permission from him to enter the Dham. The reasons for this are described by Srila Rupa Goswami in his Mathura Mahatmya, text 234 to 238, wherein he has quoted the following verses from the Adi Vara Puran recounting Krishna's words about Bhuteshwar Mahadev. O Deva, you will be the protector of Mathura. O greatest of the gods, whoever sees you will attain my abode. By seeing Bhuteshwar Mahadev, all sins are destroyed. O Vasudha, one who sees him achieves the land of Mathura. In Mathura is the deity of Lord Bhuteshwar, who grants liberation even to the sinful. This Bhuteshwar deity is very dear to me. How is it possible for a sinful person who tries to worship me but will not worship Bhuteshwar Shiva to attain devotion to me? Those who are bewildered by my Maya, who are the lowest of men, will not meditate on, bow down before, or offer prayers to Lord Bhuteshwar. Also, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya 17.191 by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami describes how Lord Chaitanya visited Bhuteshwar Mahadev in the following way. Swayambhu Vishrama Dirgha Vishnu Bhuteshwar Mahavidya Gokarnadhi Dekhila Vistar. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited all the holy places on the banks of the Yamuna, including Swayambhu, Vishramghat, Dirgha Vishnu, Bhuteshwar, Mahadev, and Gokarna.
So Lord Shiva is basically the doorkeeper. So before one enters into the spiritual world or Vrindavan Dham, so Lord Vishnu is at the periphery, same as Sadashiva, in the periphery of or the circumference of spiritual world as Sadashiva or as the Digpals. Let's read about it's the beautiful Gopeshwar Mahadev. Lord Shiva became the Gopi. The Gopi with snakes. The envious snakes didn't turn into gopis. So it's not that just by taking bath in that Mansarovar one will become a gopi. One has to have that mood of love and devotion. Okay, who wants to read about Gopeshwar Mahadev? Miss Kashish Mataji, you want to read?
Kṛṣṇa Mahadev is one of the most prominent deities in the Gaudiya Sampradaya and is mentioned in many Gaudiya literatures. Being a very ancient protector of Sri Vrindavan Dhama, it is said that one cannot enter Vrindavan without his permission. His glories are sung throughout the Goswami literatures. Śrīmad-Gopishwaram Vande Shankaram Karunamayam Sarvaklesha Haram Devam Vrindaranyarati Pradam. I offer my respectful obeisance to Sri Gopeshwara, who is merciful Lord Shiva himself. He removes troubles and grants spiritual love in Vrindavana. Sri Bhakti Ratnakar 5.3741. In the song Vrajadhama Mahi Mantra, the following line is sung: Jai Jai Gopeshwara Vrindavana Maja. All glories to Gopeshwara Shiva, who resides in the holy Dhama of Vrindavan. Kameshwara Mahadev at Kamyavan.
That's the next.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Babaji.
It's very, very nice. So what does Lord Shiva give? Love, spiritual love in Vrindavan. That's the best thing we should ask. And that's what the Prachetas, when he asked, the Prachetas, when they asked, Lord Shiva said, one who is a devotee of Lord Vishnu or Krishna is actually my devotee. Because Lord Shiva is not there, although he has the power to give material things, but that's not the best thing he would want to give. Imagine he does not have a home of its own. He's living in Kailash. Can he not make a home or a palace for himself? He's the Lord of the world. We just read the Lord of the three worlds. He can certainly do so. Can he not get some nice branded garments? He's covered with ashes. Can he not get some nice pearl diamond necklaces? He has a necklace of bones, skulls. So the point is, the best thing to ask from Lord Shiva is spiritual love in Vrindavan. Vrindavaranya Rati Pradam. Rati is attachment to Krishna, attachment to Vrindavan, attachment to devotees, attachment to service. So we can try to, this is quite easy verse. Śrīmad-Gopishwaram Vande Shankaram Karunamayam Sarva Klesha Haram Devam Vrindavaranya Rati Pradam. We can try to remember this or memorize this. Not very difficult. Let's do it one more time. You want to listen?
Śrīmad-Gopishwaram Vande Shankaram Karunamayam Sarvakleshaharam Devam Vrindaranya Pradam.
So anytime we see any deity of Lord Shiva or any picture, any Shivaratri, any occasion related to Lord Shiva, we can, or even otherwise also, we can chant this mantra. Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan. In that bhajan also, Jaya Jaya Gopishwara Vrindavanam, that comes in that bhajan also. So let's read about Kameshwar Mahadev at Kamyavan. Yes, Ikant Prabhu, you want to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
Kameshwara Mahadev at Kamyavana. Kama means desire. It is said that Kameshwar Mahadev is the fulfiller of one's desires. Srila Narahari Chakravarti has described Kameshwar Mahadev in his Bhakti Ratnakara 5.841. See here the most beautiful Shiva as Kameshwara. Kameshwara Mahadeva resides in Kamyavan, in the eastern part of Rajamandala. According to the tradition in Vrija, Vrishabhanu Maharaj worshipped Kameshwara to get a daughter. He already had a son, Sridama, but now he wanted a daughter. Kameshwara granted his desire and he obtained Srimati Radharani as his daughter. Thank you.
Nice. So, Kam is desire and spiritual desires. So we can pray to Lord Kameshwar Mahadev or Shiva to increase our spiritual desires, to increase our love towards Krishna. Let's see about Chakaleshwar Mahadev. Who wants to read? Sister Megha is present. Megha Mataji, would you like to read? Thank you for joining. Or Sandeep Prabhu, I'm not sure if you're present.
Yes, Prabhu, I'm present. On the northern bank of Mansi Ganga by Govardhan Hill, in a group of five Shivlinga that are famous by the name Chakreshwar Mahadev. These 5 Shivlingas are considered to be Lord Shiva's 5 faces. They protect the area of Govardhan. This part of Mansi Ganga is known as Chakratirtha, and because they stays at this place, this Shivlinga is originally known as Chakreshwar, but now he is known as Chakleshwara. It is said that this place is called Chakratirtha because when Kṛṣṇa lifted Govardhan hill, he requested Sudarshan Chakra to appear above the mountain to dry up all the rain coming down on Govardhan, so that the Vrajvasi standing underneath would not drown. After Indra withdrew the Samvartaka cloud that he had sent to destroy Vraja, and the danger was over, Sudarshana requested Kṛṣṇa to give him a place to rest. Kṛṣṇa gave him this place on the northern bank of Mansi Ganga. The present temple of Chakreshwar Mahadev is recent. The original one was destroyed by Muslim. However, the deities here are very old and are said to have been installed by Kṛṣṇa great grandson Vajranatha.
I believe that's where the place where the pastime of that mosquito troubling
Yes,
happened.
Prabhu.
Want to share that?
Yes, Prabhu. Is next to Chakreshwar Mahadev, there is a Bhajan Kutir of Jiva Goswami. And Jiva Goswami used to do his sadhana over there, and the mosquito used to trouble him. And he tells Chakreshwar that, I have to leave this place because the mosquito is troubling me. So Chakreshwar appeared that night and told Jiva Goswami that you don't need to leave anywhere. From now onwards, there would be no mosquito inside your Bhajan Kuti. So even today also, if you go inside the Bhajan Kuti, you won't find any mosquitoes.
Thank you so much for sharing that sweet pastime. So these are the 5 faces of Lord Shiva. We just read in text number 30, 29, or a little before that, 27. So let's read about Nandeshwar Mahadev. Yes, Babu, Kanayan Prabhu, you want to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Nandeshwara Mahadeva at Nandagaon. The palace of Nanda Maharaj is situated atop Nandeshwara hill in Nandagaon. This hill is form of Lord Shiva, who performed tapasya for several thousands of years to enter into Lord Kṛṣṇa's pastime in Vraja. When the Lord was pleased with him, Shiva asked for a boon of getting a chances to witness the Vraja pastime of Lord Kṛṣṇa by becoming a hill or stone. Reciprocating with the desire, Lord Kṛṣṇa granted him this form in Nandagaon. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, Vraja Riti Sindhamani Tata Taschi Robhutam Apar Shobham Nandi Shram Sadhu Ganavadanti Nandi Shram Cha Yadiya Rupashri Nanda Raja Lai Rajamanam. The devotees declared the Nandishwara hill, the form of Lord Shiva, now shining as Nanda Maharaja's capital, is endlessly beautiful crown decorating Vrindavana. Lord Shiva has stayed at Nandagaon in the form of Nandeshwara Mahadev, and even today the Charnamrita and Mahaprasada of Lord Kṛṣṇa is first offered to him. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. You can imagine that Lord Shiva also performed tapasya to enter into Krishna's pastimes, and he became the hill. Similarly, Lord Brahma, the 4 hills of Barsana are the 4 heads of Lord Brahma. So all these great personalities, Brahma, Shiva, etc., are praying to enter into Krishna's pastimes, to be of service to Krishna and his devotees. So that's the mood of devotion in Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma. They're always chanting the names of Lord Krishna, Rama, always absorbed in katha, absorbed in hearing, chanting. So that's the essence. Any other comments, questions, additions anyone has in these prayers to Lord Shiva? There are still more prayers, so maybe tomorrow also we'll be reading that. But just thought to share some stories from Vrindavan. Any other comments, questions before we pause for today? Okay, so we will pause here and continue tomorrow with the next verse, that is 32, and then we will see what they approach with a desire to help. And the beautiful point is there that even if they are approaching for help, they didn't just say, hey, help us, we're getting trouble with halal. So it's a very important principle that whenever we approach the deity of the Lord in the temple or at any other place, we must first glorify the deity. First, we should bow down, prostrate ourselves, and then we should glorify the deity, whether Lord Jagannath, Lord Krishna, Balaram, Radha Madhav, Radha Shyam Sundar, any deity we are seeing, with choicest verses. And then if we have to ask, we can ask for preferably spiritual desires, but glorification is first. The halal is there. It's not the halal is gone, but they are glorifying so nicely Lord Shiva or basically Lord Vishnu in his Sadashiv form. Okay, so we will resume tomorrow with the next verse. Grantra Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Sanila
Jai.
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 ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai.
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 Govinda ki jai.
Vacha
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.